Hi, it's Nat from Naturally Good, doing a little experiment today to show you what's really in your laundry powder. I talk a lot about fillers and extenders, and the best way to explain what they are is to show you. Those of you who've met me on my market stall or at a field days have probably seen my little visual demonstration, and you'll have to excuse the dodgy pasta jar. This is a supermarket brand laundry powder that I have put into the jar. I did this probably 8 months ago now, and you can see I've shaken it, I've stirred it, I've mixed it, I've done everything I can possibly do, and you can see in the bottom there, beautiful texture, and that is just 1 scoop of the laundry powder that was supermarket. So that's what's left behind. That is fillers, that stuff, and that is basically when you buy a supermarket brand, you're generally buying a little bit of active product and then a bunch of stuff that they've used to dilute the product down and fill up the bucket or the bag. It's a huge contributor to eczema, to people with sensitive skin, to irritations of all kinds of things. You know, you're always touching your sheets and your towels and pillowcases and clothing and face washer, and those little undissolved bits of goodness knows what get stuck in the fabric of your clothes, and they irritate, and particularly if you've got sensitive skin. So they can cause a big reaction. It's one of the main reasons I use Tri-Nature, and why I, prior to finding Tri-Nature, thought that I couldn't use laundry powder. So I did a little experiment a couple of weeks ago with Aware, which says on the packaging that it has no fillers. I'm sure I read somewhere that it said no fillers. And it's supposed to be environmentally friendly, and it's supposed to be very low allergy. Now, I haven't washed any of my clothes with it, so I can't attest to whether or not it causes an irritation. And I unfortunately shook this jar a little bit when I picked it up earlier, but I did this little experiment that I'm about to do for you with good old Earth Choice. And I thought, oh yeah, it looks like it's dissolved, and I left it to sit, and I came back to it about 3 hours later, and this was only 1 scoop, the recommended dose of their product, probably about a third of the jar. Oh, I'm showing you a third and you can't see. About a third of the jar, and it's starting to float down to the bottom now. It's very hard to see, and I'm not sure that I'm helping, but if you can see, it's getting quite dense at the bottom there. There is a bunch of stuff just sitting right on the bottom of that jar. You can just sort of see a line starting to separate it around about there. And I'll let it sit for a while, let it separate again. Now, this is Tri-Nature. This has been in there for about the same amount of time as this one. I did these two together. Now you can see, I mean, the water's blue because there is, there's a blue dye in the laundry powder, mainly as a deterrent to stop children from thinking it looks like something to eat. And I bear in mind that decision was made before Frozen came out and blue was suddenly all the rage. And you can see that that's pretty clear. There's nothing floating around in there. There's nothing, oh sorry, you can still see the residue of the label on the jar there, sorry about that. There's nothing floating around in it, so that's the powder. It dissolves completely in water and rinses away. I strongly encourage people to try this at home. Absolutely try it at home. Do it yourself and see. So Earth Choice today is my victim. It's a brand new bucket. Now, fillers and extenders not only are not good for the skin, but they're also not that great for the environment. There's no regulation around what's used to create these. I apologise, I'm shifting around trying to figure out how to open this. Yeah, there's no regulation around fillers and extenders, and even in an organic laundry product, the fillers and extenders don't have to be organic because they're not part of the active product. So you can have an organic laundry product that has non-organic ingredients in it. Yeah, there's no regulation. A lot of people claim that they only use sodium. There's a lot of people who'll say, oh, but they only use sodium. I don't really see, sodium surely would just dissolve. I don't, there's no way that's sodium. It's God knows what. I don't even know what it might be. It's some spectacular colours. It's pink and blue and grey and, you know, it's definitely not sodium. If it was sodium, it would dissolve. So, again, try this at home. Oh, righto. Now, we'll go with a front loader, which is half a scoop. And goodness me, this is a rather large scoop. All right, I've got, here's a pasta jar I prepared earlier. Half a scoop will do. Oh gosh. Half a scoop. Well, it's probably a bit more than half actually. Let's be fair. Half a scoop. Now, it's a little bit of cold water. And just to be fair, I've just boiled the kettle, but I'm just going to tip some of the boiling water in there and pretend we're having a warm wash. Right. Lid on. Poor old peanut butter jar. Now, we're going to let that sit for a little while. I'm going to shake, 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 shake. How much shaking would happen in the machine, hey? Let's see what we can do. But yeah, fillers and extenders certainly explain why a lot of products leave powder streaks. Alright, giving that a pretty good go. Gosh, there's still some down the bottom that's sitting there. Perhaps I should have put some water in. Oh no, got it. Okay, I'm going to let that sit for a little while and I'm going to come back and we'll see what we see. So it's been about 15 minutes since I paused, and during that time I actually thought I'll go and do the Try Nature one again, just refresh it, and this time I only used half a scoop, which is the front loader amount, instead of the full scoop, and you can see that that's absolutely see-through. Still some bubbles because I've only just finished doing it, but yeah. Already it's pretty darn clear. This is Earth Choice, and I'll hold it up nice and close to the camera. You can see that there's that lovely layer starting to settle on the bottom there. So, and you can see it's, if I hold the bowl straight, you can actually see, if I turn it around so you can see it a bit clearer that side, it's a fairly clear layer of stuff settling down the bottom there. So, and here are the, gosh, I don't even know what's floating around in this one. This is the Aware, and it's difficult to see, but there's all kinds of stuff floating around in here. I don't know if you can see that darker amount moving around. You can see it better if I hold it up the bottom there like that. Yeah, there's definitely something in there that's not that flash. So while there are a lot of things about these two products that I absolutely love, they're Australian, they're absolutely doing their best for environmental friendliness and for allergy sufferers. I still, you know, if you're wondering why you're pumping your laundry water out onto the grass and your grass is dying, that's why. It's just not good for the grass. It's not good for the soil, really bad for the soil health. And it's, you know, not great for your clothes. It makes your clothes a bit more dull and it makes them scratchy, and it makes people with sensitive skin really irritated. So there's a lot to be said for going for 100% concentrate. And just to crystallise what I'm saying about fillers and extenders, best marketing campaign ever, 2 times ultra concentrate. You know, come and buy our 2 times ultra concentrate. It's so much stronger than the normal powder. It's, you know, we've boosted it. No, they haven't boosted it. All they've done is taken out some of the fillers, because you can't make a more concentrated version of something that wasn't diluted to start with. So all they're doing is selling you less of the stuff that isn't even washing your clothes. It's just killing the ocean and the grass. So do this experiment at home. This is one of those ones I'm strongly recommending you actually do it. And you'll see what I mean. So that's what fillers and extenders are anyway. So now you know.